before I go, I wanted to ease your mind about any rumors you might have heard lately. You know how these local stories come and go and seldom mean anything. I can personally assure you that whatever is going on out there, however tragic it may be, has nothing to do with our establishment. It's just all rumor and speculation, people trying to make a buck, you know. Our guard during the day has reported nothing unusual, and he's on watch from opening till close. Okay, well anyway, hang in there and I'll talk with you tomorrow.
Hello everyone, my name is Kavin Catastrophe, and this is my Five Nights at Freddy hidden story. For the new year, I hope to have a lot of theory videos coming out explaining what I believe is going on in Fnaf and Security Breach. But while I was coming up with the script for my videos, I realized something. Not everyone in the Fnaf fandom understands what an illusion disc is. The illusion disc is a key element when it comes to my future theories, and I need to explain what I believe what an illusion disc is and how it works. If you don't know what an illusion disc is, I don't blame you, as the concept of an illusion disc was never explained or mentioned in the games, only in the books. Now, you may be saying, doesn't that mean that the concept of an illusion disc is not canon to the games, only in the books?
That's simply not true.
Scott Cawthon confirmed that many concepts first introduced in the novels later took hold in the games, while certain concepts introduced in the games, like the springlock suits, were sometimes expanded on in the novels. The illusion disc isn't a blink and you miss it idea. Scott Cawthon went out of his way to fully explain how these things work, because it is ultra important to the lore of Fnaf, which is very interesting as I don't see much conversation about the illusion disc. This makes me feel like a lot of people don't really understand its significance to the lore of Fnaf.
You underestimate my power! Don't try it!
So now that you understand what I'm trying to do here, let's begin with the video, as I try to explain the power and the abilities of an illusion disc. Let me ask you a question. Do you know what the Uncanny Valley is? Whenever you see a robot mimic human behavior, do you ever get this feeling of unease? It's probably happened to you once or twice. When you see a robot talking, singing, or dancing, there's this sort of ringing in your head that tells you that this just isn't right. When you see a machine do regular machine things, such as helping lift things or moving heavy objects, or even something as small as
pass the butter,
everything is normal. But the more these machines start to act or look like humans, the creepier it feels. This phenomenon is called the Uncanny Valley. The Uncanny Valley is a concept first introduced in the 1970s. When robot reaches the Uncanny Valley, our infinity descends into a feeling of strangeness, a sense of unease, and a tendency to be scared or freaked out. Basically, the Uncanny Valley can be described as people's negative reaction to certain lifelike robots.
To kill the other guy. He was a good guy.
You killed someone?
Wouldn't have been my first call. But down in the real world, we're faced with ugly choices.
The Uncanny Valley phenomenon is something that Fazbear Entertainment has been struggling with, as they want their animatronics to play with the children, to be close to them, for the children to see them as their best friends. If they want to stand out and be more successful than the other pizzerias, they are going to need a way to get around this phenomenon.
Is that gonna be hard to do? Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really?
The Uncanny Valley phenomenon is like a warning bell to humanity, to let us know when we are going too far when it comes to robotics. But instead of just accepting that, Henry Emily, who really wanted those kids to love his machines, came up with a genius idea. Why recreate the illusion of life when your mind can do it for us?
Some people dream of success while you're gonna wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible!
And just like that, the illusion disc was born. So, what's an illusion disc? Well, it's complicated, as first I need to explain how the human mind works. I know, for a franchise about ghosts and the supernatural, there sure is a lot of science involved here. Anyway, in the Fnaf novel The Twisted Ones, Dr. Treadwell... Wait, Dr. Treadwell? Is that seriously her name? Anyway, she explains that people shouldn't trust their eyes. Your eyes deceives you every day, filling in the blanks for you in a world of sensory overload. At every moment, your senses are receiving far more information than you can process all at once, and your mind is forced to choose which signals to pay attention to. The things we are familiar with are the things we can, for the most part, ignore. In order for you to function in the world, your mind fills in the spaces of that tree with its own idea of leaves and branches. So what this teacher is saying is that your mind creates motion when there is none. It fills in colors and trajectories based on what you've seen before, and calculates what you should be seeing now. If your mind didn't do this, then simply walking outside and seeing a tree would consume all your mental energy, leaving no resources to do anything else. Charlie even has a better example of what Mrs. Treadwell is talking about. In class, we learned that when the brain is overstimulated, it fills in the gaps for you. So, say you pass a red hexagonal sign on the road, and someone asks you what words were on it. You'd say stop, and you imagine you saw it. But if you were properly distracted, you wouldn't even see that the sign was blank. You're conditioned to see it with that word. If you are properly distracted enough, or if you just wasn't paying attention, your mind was subconsciously filling the information for you, whether it be correct or wrong. So, what does the illusion disc do? What the illusion disc does is that it emits a sound waves that create and then breaks patterns at such a high pitch and so fast, only your subconscious can detect it.
Okay, alright.
Your mind gets overwhelmed and the chips makes it see what you think you should be seeing.
Say it in English, Duck.
So what Charlie just said is that the illusion disc gives off such a high frequency that it purposely distracts your mind so that your subconscious automatically takes over and fills in the blanks of any of its surroundings.
Spare me your medical mumbo-jumbo.
If you are near something with an illusion disc, it scrambles your brain, cluttering it up with nonsense so that your mind will automatically see what your subconscious thinks it should be seeing.
Could you dumb it down a shade?
The illusion disc messes with your mind so it makes you see what you think you should be seeing.
Why didn't you just say that?
Because it's more complicated than that. Your mind has two sets of minds, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is the part we are aware of and think with. It's the part of the mind we are most familiar with. It allows us to use all of the information we have processed over the years to think rationally and use common sense. The subconscious mind is different. It stores our fears, beliefs, desires, and memories that you may not be aware of. It's the mind with the less discipline.
That is something you must earn.
Earn? After everything we've done, everything we've been through? The death, the loss, the suffering. Who are you to deny us what is rightfully ours?
To be able to access and discipline your subconscious mind requires a lot of mental training and therapy. And what the illusion disc does, it is it allowed the mind with the less training to be in the driver's seat.
You're in my way.
Is that bad? It sounds bad.
It is.
So why is this important to the lore of Fnaf? Because Fazbear Entertainment has been using the illusion disc to get the kids to fall in love with their Freddy Fazbear characters. These mascot characters are very creepy looking, close to entering the realm of the Uncanny Valley. But if the children are advertised to these characters in a cute commercial or saw them in any fun looking posters or even watched a fun TV show about them, the moment they walk into a Freddy Fazbear pizza establishment, the illusion disc would kick in and make those kids see what they've been advertised into seeing. The illusion disc was a success. Kids all over the area has fallen in love with these characters. As long as the kids are properly advertised into loving these mascots, then Fazbear Entertainment will continue to make money. Now that you understand how the illusion disc works, you can basically tell that this is a very, very powerful device. If used strategically, someone could literally manipulate people into believing anything they want them to believe, as long as it is suggested. And we have lots of examples on how. So let's say, for instance, that Fazbear started advertising their characters as attractive and beautiful. Well, due to the power of the illusion disc, those people will automatically be attracted to those animatronics. People having crushes on pop stars are normal, and showing affection for certain fictional characters are also normal. The problem is that not everyone has a healthy mindset when it comes to displaying affection. And thanks to the illusion disc, removing the common sense on how to display affection, a lot of people, especially children, will display their love in a not so healthy way. This isn't an accident. Fazbear is doing this on purpose so they can make money out of the kids' growing hormones. Fazbear Entertainment seems to be a strong believer of the phrase, sex sells. This is genius, as kids aren't going to stay young forever. So having that one character in the group to lure in those growing kids back into the establishment is quite the power move.
Hey little man, do you know what time it is? The doors are open. Why are you still here? You plan on moving in, or you just want a job? Maybe join the internship program. You would make a great security guard. Gregory, I think you deserve a reward. Go check the main stage.
I was just at the main stage. I was literally just at the main stage. Okay, Vanessa, I'm at the main stage. Are you serious? Are you, Vanessa? Are you serious right now? Vanessa. Vanessa. Vanessa told me to stay on this stage, and there's no way that I'm gonna make it to the exit, so I'm just gonna stay on the stage, and that's it. What?
Girls get you to feel for them, make you think they're the best thing in the world. And then they leave. Move on to the next thing. And you're left there crying, with your heart covered in poop.
I can't believe people fell for such an obvious trap. I tell you what, you wouldn't see that happening to me though.
I bet I'm your favorite.
Roxanne, all she wanna do is party all night. Goddamn, Roxanne, never gonna love me, but it's alright.
Want an autograph? Nobody likes a loser.
You underestimate my power!
Now that we know what the illusion disc does when an animatronic is advertised in a super positive way, what does the illusion disc do when an animatronic is not properly advertised? In the Fazbear Frights story Out of Stock, we follow the story of Oscar. Oscar is just an average kid that no one understands. He constantly has to help his mom out at the old folks medical home. Oscar is very mature for a kid. He understands how hard things has gotten for his mom ever since his dad died. He knows that helping her out does make life easier for both of them, but because of his circumstances, he's been missing out on all of the cool, fun stuff that kids like to do. But this time, it's going to be different. There's a new toy that Fazbear Entertainment has been hyping up for months. It's called the Plush Trap Chaser. It walks in the dark and flees in the light. I'm also guessing it chases you? I don't know. Every kid wants it, which means this thing must be super cool. So, you know, we have to get it. So you better make sure to have one, because if you don't, then that makes you a total loser. And nobody likes a loser.
I will not be a loser.
Wait a second. It walks in the dark and frees in the light. Why does this sound so familiar?
Hey, listen. That one was always a bit twitchy. I'm not sure if the Freddy head trick will work on Foxy. If for some reason he activates during the night and you see him standing at the far end of the hall, just flash your light at him from time to time. Those older models would always get disoriented with bright light. It would cause a system restart or something. Come to think of it, you might want to try that on any room where something undesirable might be. It might hold him in place for a few seconds. That glitch might have carried over to the newer models too. That glitch might have carried over to the newer models too. That glitch might have carried over to the newer models too.
This is fine. I'm okay with the events that are unfolding currently.
While getting ready to go to the toy store, Oscar gets a message from his friends to meet him at the mall instead. The toy has been sold out in all of the official local places, but the Emporium, for some strange reason, has some in stock. We get a little backstory on the Emporium from Oscar. Now, I want you guys to pay close attention here, as this will be important later on. The Emporium had nearly closed 3 different times, always on the verge of bankruptcy. Apparently, it's always been rescued at the last minute by some mysterious financier who couldn't bear to see another independent business succumb to one of the big chain toy stores. It might have been an act of charity, Oscar had said, if the Emporium hadn't always been so gross. Oscar was pretty sure the place had never been mopped. Not a single stain has ever been cleaned. Oscar himself had made one of those stains when he was 11, puking up a brick slurp right in front of the beach bar display. And although he tried not to look, every time he goes to the Emporium, he would always see that stain there. Every single time. But whatever the case might be, this mysterious and disgusting place has access to the much wanted plush trap chaser. But unfortunately, by the time they are about to get one, it is revealed that they are sold out. Oscar overhears a conversation from some employees in the back about a plush trap chaser that was returned, looking very creepy. I think we need to call the police. Who processed this return? Parts of it look more real, almost human. It can't be from the manufacturer. Are you sure? Did anyone look at this one before it was sold? Someone would have noticed, wouldn't they? I still think we should call the police. And say what? Someone returned a toy and funny story, now the toy looks too lifelike? Help, officer, help. It's not just lifelike. It's disturbing.
Sure is a red flag, I agree.
Apparently, ignoring what the employees had said, Oscar just sees it as them having an extra toy, and not wanting his childhood to be wasted, basically steals the plush, but you know, not really, and bolts out of there. Oscar and his friends finally have the plush trap chaser they've been hearing about, and it's not what they expected.
Oh my goodness!
So, what's going on here? Well, this plush trap chaser, for whatever reason, has an illusion disc inside of it. Since the plush was advertised to be the coolest looking toy ever, the illusion disc was supposed to make it look like how it was advertised. But Oscar and his friends revealed that they never got a real good look at the toy that was advertised. Yes, they heard of it. Yes, they may have glanced at it a bit, but they wasn't truly brainwashed to love it. They just wanted it because everyone wanted it. This is where the complexity of the illusion disc comes in. Oscar was aware that this toy wasn't anything special. He was aware it didn't do anything groundbreaking. In fact, he has even admitted multiple times that this toy seemed very stupid. But it didn't matter what he thinks. It was the toy that everyone wanted. And if the majority believe that this toy is super awesome, then he must be the freak for not thinking the same, right?
Look at little Goblin Jr. Gonna cry?
He needed to get this toy. He needed to be part of the group. He needed to do whatever it takes to belong, even if it meant getting a toy that is not from the official manufacturer. So, subconsciously, Oscar does not care for this toy, even though he wanted it. He just wasn't properly brainwashed to love it like the other children. And since he wasn't brainwashed to love it, any new information he gets on the toy will be stored in his subconscious. It doesn't matter if he believes it or not. The moment you gain any new information on something, it's stuck there forever in your subconscious memories. And since the illusion disc basically removes the critical thinking of your mind to process the information you have just gathered correctly, your subconscious is forced to choose which information it wants to pay attention to. And unfortunately for Oscar and many unlucky few, their subconscious is choosing the worst option.
It's just like that movie that you keep crowing about. You talking about Inception? That's right. This is gonna be a lot like that, except, you know, it's gonna make sense.
Cruel is a matter of perspective.
And that is the key word here, perspective. Because of the illusion disc, everyone is going to be looking at the same thing differently. What may look creepy or sinister looking to one person may look super cool or trustworthy to another.
There is no rabbit at the Mega Pizzaplex. Not anymore. I do not come up here anymore. I miss him. Stop him. He is trying to take control of me. I do not think I can fight it for long.
He? What is that thing?
Okay, so we have time to explain one more ability that the illusion disc is capable of, and this one is a bit crazy. Not satisfied with his, purchase, Oscar and his friends decide to return to the Emporium to try and get their money back, which, that should be a fun conversation. But once they reach the location, something strange has occurred.
No, this is the right place. What's going on in here? I demand to speak to whoever's in charge!
So we have yet another power of the illusion disc being displayed here. The mysterious Emporium that have survived from being shut down despite its multiple bankruptcy and terrible hygienic practices have suddenly been advertised to have plush trap chasers. The illusion disc has transformed Hal's Halloween hallway into the Emporium that everyone remembers. Once they sold all of their plush trap chasers, there was no longer any need to keep up the illusion, and they transformed the Emporium back into Hal's Halloween hallway.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. No, it doesn't! Not cool at all!
So what is being hinted at here is that if someone advertised a well-known establishment to a specific location, like for example, let's say your house, then that random building, at least from the perspective of the person who saw the ad, will automatically see that random building as that well-known establishment. But here's where things gets a bit complicated. When you walk inside of the building, everything looks normal. Everything is where it's supposed to be. It's just like how you remembered it from your past experiences with that official establishment. So how is this person, who is clearly using this fake building, making you believe all of this is official?
What'd you do? I merely sampled your memories, and from them, I made this.
Dr. Treadwell has an explanation for that. When you enter a house for the first time, you experience a moment of dizziness. Your mind is taking in more than usual. It's drawing a floor plan, creating a palette of colors, and saving an inventory of images to draw on later, so you don't have to go through the exhausting intake every single time. The next time you enter that same house, you already know where you are. So what Dr. Treadwell is saying is that if you've been to an official Freddy Fazbear pizza location before, your mind will subconsciously download everything it saw in its memory banks. And when the time comes for you to use those memories, it will automatically be applied to the old or new building. Now obviously this wouldn't really work because your conscious mind would be aware of the changes that are made and realize that it's a different or fake building.
This is very interesting. Or is this FNAF 6? Wait, what? Where am I? This is weird. Oh my gosh. I can't believe this is here, dude. This has to be the best ending for the game, whatever this is. Look at, this is the stage from FNAF Simulator, isn't it? It looks like it.
But since the illusion disc is distracting your conscious mind and letting your subconscious takes over, it won't be able to see the slight changes. Unless you go to an area you've never been to before. So according to how this works, the illusion disc memory download thing can only work if you've been to an area within the official establishment before. So if you've never been to a specific area within that establishment, then the illusion disc has no memory to draw from. That means you are either going to see that area as nothing, or you're going to see that area for what it truly is.
Funny how my mind would never think to go there.
So there you go, a very simple solution to figuring out whether you are in a fake Freddy Fazbear pizza location or not. Just go to a place you've never been to before in your past and see that place for what it truly is. Easy. Except you don't know the history of the characters that you're playing as. You don't know if they've been to a Freddy Fazbear location or not. Each game has a different protagonist, which means that we are drawing from the memories of different people. I can't pinpoint what is real and what is not, because I literally know nothing about these guys.
Oh my god! Okay, it's happening! Everybody stay calm!
Okay, let's not panic. We do have that new character encyclopedia book that just came out. It's supposed to have all of the characters that have ever been introduced in the Five Nights at Freddy universe. I'm sure it'll be able to give me some information on Mike, Jeremy, Fitz, Susie, Michael? How the heck is Michael not in here?
Now is the time to panic.
Okay, no problem. We have other solutions. So we just need to leave the establishment and look at the building from far away, so the frequency of the illusion disc doesn't get us.
Phew, that was close.
Except I don't know how far the range is on the illusion disc. It could actually be far. Very far. Very, very far. Like, super far. Wait a second, can I even leave the building in the first place? If the illusion disc is capable of drawing from my memories of places that I've been to before, then when does it stop?
I know this bridge. This place is real, isn't it?
Yeah, I cross it every day to get to the college.
Never recreate places from your memory. Always imagine new places.
You gotta draw from stuff you know, right?
Only use details, a street lamp or a phone booth, never entire areas.
Why not?
Because building a dream from your memory is the easiest way to lose your grasp on what's real and what is a dream.
Is that what happened to you?
We live our lives subconsciously every single day, especially children. We mostly don't have to think about the things that we do or see. Heck, we even walk home subconsciously. But, thanks to the illusion disc, if someone wanted to, they can make us believe that everything we do or see is normal. And we won't have our conscious to tell us that's wrong. In fact, I wonder...
Alright, hear me out. Do you think all those locations I visited were pulled from my memories?
That is possible. It imported the data of your memories and applied it to your surroundings, so you could comprehend them.
If that's true, then someone could literally use our memories to keep us trapped within the fake pizzeria. If someone created a fake exit to make us believe that we are leaving the establishment, then our subconscious would fill in the blanks and make us believe that we left. But if they designed that exit to loop around, we would still be inside of the building. It would basically be like an endless circle.
You are not here to receive a gift, nor have you been called here by the individual you assume, although you have indeed been called. You have all been called here, into a labyrinth of sounds and smells, misdirection and misfortune. A labyrinth with no exit, a maze with no prize. You don't even realize that you are trapped. Your lust for blood has driven you in endless circles, chasing the cries of children in some unseen chamber, always seeming so near, yet somehow out of reach.
What the heck is going on here?
Who is creating fake Fazbear establishments and using people's memories to make them believe that they are real? Why did someone design the layout of the building to trick people into believing that the pizzeria is their home and trapping them inside? And why did someone put out a fake ad to hire a specific set of people back inside the establishment? This can't be just a bunch of random hires. This person must have known that these people have been to a Freddy Fazbear pizza location before in order for this to work, which means that they must know them to some extent. I don't understand. Why go through this much effort? Is this some type of sick, twisted reunion or something? What is the point of any of this?
When I first found you, you were nothing. You were small, pathetic. But now, you are more. Are you ready?
Hey, glad you came back for another night. I promise it'll be a lot more interesting this time.
He lured them all back to a familiar place, back with familiar tricks.
We found another set of drawings, always nice, and we found a desk fan, very old school, metal though.
He brought them all together.
Hello and welcome to your new summer job at the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Vintage audio training cassettes. Dude, these are like prehistoric. I think they were like training tapes for like other employees. Dude, that makes us feel legit, man.
As if what he had already done wasn't enough.
You'll be starring as a security guard.
Found a new way to desecrate, to humiliate, to destroy.
So we may have to suit you up in a furry suit and make you walk around saying, boo.
If you happen to get caught and want to avoid getting stuffed into a Freddy suit, try playing dead. You know, go limp. Then there's a chance that maybe they'll think that you're an empty costume instead. Then again, if they think you're an empty costume, they might try to stuff a metal skeleton into you. I wonder how that would work.
He set some kind of trap. I don't know what it was, but he led them there again.
When the place opens, people will come in at the opposite end of the building and work their way toward you, then past you and out the exit.
He overpowered them again.
Hey, you're doing great. Most people don't last this long. I mean, you know, they usually move on to other things by now.
And he robbed them of the only thing that they had again.
It is not your flesh that sustains me. It is your fear.
And the foxy head, which we think could be authentic, then again, it might just be another crappy cosplay.
It's amazing that the human body can live without the frontal lobe, you know?
Are they still aware? I hope not. It keeps me awake at night.
You'll also be a part of the show. It'll make it feel really authentic, I think.
I don't know how those tiny breaths of life came to inhabit those machines, but they will never find rest now, not like this.
Hide if you want. It did not save the others. It will not save you.
Yeah, you've officially become part of the attraction.
I have to call them all back, all of them, together in one place.
Let's see how many times you can be pulled apart and put back together again.
Okay, so I guess the Fazbear Frights group are the ones responsible for these fake Freddy Fazbear establishments.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know these guys were that important. Scott, you could have built these guys up a little bit more. Give us a small hint into what was going on. Was that too hard to ask?
You know how these local stories come and go and seldom mean anything. I can personally assure you that whatever is going on out there, however tragic it may be, has nothing to do with our establishment. It's just all rumor and speculation, people trying to make a buck, you know.
What?
Oh, when you said the books were canon, you meant that literally. People are actually reading the Fazbear Frights book in the universe of Fnaf. Okay, now that's my fault. I misinterpreted that. My bad. It would seem that the Fazbear Frights group is more of a threat than I originally thought. Do they own half of the Fazbear brand? How long have they been around? I'm going to have to investigate them more in the future. But anyway, as you guys can tell, the illusion disc is very important when it comes to the lore of Fnaf. I know the illusion disc is scary and complicated. I really love the concept of it. If you've been watching my videos, the big central theme that all of them seem to have in common is manipulation. And the illusion disc is the ultimate manipulation device, as its job is to literally make anyone believe in anything, whether it's true or false. In fact, me and my cousin, who's not even a Fnaf fan by the way, came up with so many different theories on how the illusion disc works that we even discovered some extra scary powers that the illusion disc is capable of that I didn't have time to put in this video. And I wouldn't have came up with those theories if it wasn't for his perspective and how he sees things. This is why I decided to make this video. Just like the illusion disc, when it comes to solving FNAF, different perspectives, different ideas is going to be essential in order to solve it. We need to question every information that is given to us, whether we like it or not, because you never know who could be manipulating the answers from behind the scene. I just want people to be prepared for the day if certain things we thought we was for sure of turns out to be false, especially with Security Breach Ruin coming out soon. But anyway, these are just my interpretation of Five Nights at Freddy's. There are a million of theories out there, and all I'm doing is presenting you with my own. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and remember,
there is more going on here than you realize. Letting it go.